I'm alive. Imbecile. The best line in the entire season. Look, guys, I absolutely love House of the Dragon, but I feel like this season has been too much of a hit and miss. It started off with a bang, slowed down in the middle, and then it ended off with a bang. And the last episode was fantastic, but I don't feel like there's enough substance there to classify the season as a success. It's leading into the final season. I'd love to see how that plays out. And I mean, what you can take away from the season is you never play around with a guy with a dragon that wants to go to the tavern. That will end up badly for everyone. And that's evidence in this season. Look at what they did to Alf. I mean, I just wanted to have an ale with the lads, and I couldn't even get that. And Rhaenyra, the one big arc that has played out in this season, you've seen everybody was always rooting for Rhaenyra, the usurper, Aegon. But this season, it just boils down to that thing again where be careful what you wish for. Are you ready to step into the shoes and the path that has been laid down for you? Are you going to lose yourself along the way, or are you going to play ball? So the whole ideology around that is very great. And I feel like that part the show nailed in terms of how she went from the Rhaenyra that everybody loves and knows, and then she just flipped the switch. I feel like that is one mistake that they made in Game of Thrones by not having Daenerys follow a similar path. It just happened like a switch, just like that. And that was the biggest mistake. And I love the fact that the season leans into that. And, I'm excited to see there's a lot of things that still hasn't happened. And if we lead into those things, it will make for great television. And also the one thing that I feel works at a disadvantage for the show is it could be a positive and a negative, is that they have been deviating a little from the source material. Very risky, very risky. But if it works, everybody applauds. If it doesn't work, you're going to be absolutely destroyed for doing that. So, I don't know, guys. And my favorite character, Lord Corlys, has had a weird season. And there's one scene in particular where he absolutely loses it. And it's so uncharacteristically who he is. Your first son was a bastard. Your second son was a bastard. Your current son is a bastard. I don't know. Crazy. And Daemon as well. I want to talk about Daemon. Daemon is the one character this season that he hasn't always had things his way, but he has been thirsty for a battle. And that's exactly what he gets in the final episode. And this is actually the first season that I've seen him off his game, Even the scene where, he was at the Vale and he had to say, please. That please came out with a lot of, was difficult for him in that situation. And the one person, look, I know that Rhaena had a tough season. She looked absolutely horrible. But the one person that did dirty this season was Sheep Stealer. Why did you guys do this to Sheep Stealer? The guy was just going about his business, burning, eating sheep, and then Rhaena swooped in, and all of a sudden the guy's life is in danger. It's sad. I actually feel really bad for Sheep Stealer. Justice for Sheep Stealer. And let me know, what do you guys think about season 3? There's just some of my thoughts. And I feel like it's, they could have wrapped it up neatly. And the mid section was a bit bloated. And